Hey everyone! You know that feeling when everything starts aligning like the pieces of a massive puzzle clicking into place right before your eyes? Guys, with the latest buzz around the president stepping back into the spotlight and steering the ship toward a crypto-friendly future, combined with those cryptic hints from folks like Mr. Poole about a Plan B that's been brewing for years, and now David Schwartz dropping subtle warnings about how numbers can scale in ways most people don't even imagine. It's like the crypto space is on the verge of something explosive. And at the center of it all, XRP quietly positioning itself as the bridge to a new financial era. I wasn't expecting the connections to light up like this today, November 9th, 2025, but here we are. And detractors are not going to like where this is headed, especially with fresh ETF listings popping up and whale movements stirring the pot. Let's dive right in because I've been piecing this together all day, and it's got me absolutely fired up. We are talking about how the president's so-called Plan B ties directly into a potential overhaul of the financial system, with XRP as a key player in wiping out debt and enabling seamless, transparent payments. Remember those old tweets from Mr. Poole back in 2019 talking about things spilling out in the open and Plan A plus Plan B being as simple as 1, 2, 3? Fast forward, and now we've got the president mentioning a Plan B in the context of tariffs and economic resets, hinting at alternatives to traditional systems that could involve crypto reserves. It's no coincidence, Mr. Poole seemed to call it first, predicting a shift where debt gets reset to zero no matter who's holding it. And guys, think about that. In a world drowning in record credit card debt hitting over $1.23 trillion, this Plan B could be the lifeline with XRP's utility in cross-border settlements, making it the perfect tool for a transparent, efficient reset. But let's not stop there. Recent chatter on X is amplifying this, with users like Finance Bro tying the president's debt settlement discussions directly to XRP, speculating prices over 620 thrills if the US uses it to clear trillions in obligations. Our first bit, that's the kind of forward-looking speculation that gets my blood pumping. It's not just hype, it's connecting real economic pain points to XRP's strengths. What makes this significant? Well, XRP isn't just another token riding the hype wave. Its fundamentals scream long-term dominance. And with the latest news, it's only getting stronger. With a fixed supply of 100 billion tokens, yep, Ripple's CTO, David Schwartz, just clarified why it's that number. Emphasizing it allows for dramatic scaling without inflation running wild. Every transaction burns a tiny bit, creating deflationary pressure over time. That's huge in a Plan B scenario where transparency contrasts sharply with the secretive projects out there. Imagine the hypocrisy. Bitcoin Max is preaching decentralization while ignoring how XRP's escrow mechanisms and regulatory progress put it miles ahead for real-world adoption. Schwartz's recent warning about base 10 mathematics isn't just nerd talk. It's a nod to how XRP can scale prices dramatically, potentially into 4 or even 5 digits as integration ramps up. He tweeted, "Every base is base 10, and when you decode that, it's about exponential growth. Base 10 lets numbers explode in value, much like how XRP's liquidity could stabilize it as a stable asset in quotes, not flatlining, but holding steady amid massive inflows." No wonder Baba Cooks back in 2019 hinted at XRP rising to unimaginable prices. If a big birdie told him 5 digits and we're seeing connections to $2,000 as a first target, this ties perfectly into the president's vision of America, leading in crypto innovation. And let's not forget Schwartz's fresh warnings this month about phishing attacks targeting hardware wallets. Guys, he's out there protecting the community, exposing fake sites like holdxrp.com that promise airdrops but are just scams. It's that insider vigilance that builds trust, reminding us to stay sharp in these uncertain times. Guys, let's connect the dots here. It's like sound waves in a noisy market. All the background chatter from short-term volatility is just static. But the big catalysts are the thunderclaps about to hit. Take the recent Franklin Templeton XRP ETF listing on the DTCC with the ticker XRPZ. That's not small potatoes. HQ Love, it's a preparatory step signaling institutional readiness for XRP exposure. And on November 7th, 2025, it's fueling speculation that approvals could come soon, especially under the president's administration, pushing for crypto reserves anchored by American innovations like XRP. But wait, there's more. 21 Shares just filed a key amendment for their spot XRP ETF, sending the price spiking 5% to 232 in the past hour alone. That's the kind of news that counters the whale selling we've seen where major holders dumped during rallies, stalling the price despite bullish fundamentals. Contrast that with the chaos of leveraged positions getting liquidated, over $1.3 billion in 24 hours recently. And yet, XRP is rebounding, forming higher highs and lows when you zoom out, just like the 2013-2017 cycle, where long consolidation led to massive breakouts. History doesn't repeat exactly, but it rhymes, and with ISO 2022 standards solidifying by November 25th, banks have no choice but to comply. And guess who's been involved? Ripple and Stellar paving the way for distributed ledger tech in global messaging. On X, folks like Cameron Scrubs are straight up saying, sell everything else and buy XRP, with over 1,700 likes. Echoing that sentiment, it's a clear sign of shifting community hype. I'm Cameron Scrubs. And speaking of Ripple's moves, their swell 2025 event lineup is stacked with heavyweights like BlackRock CK's Maxwell Stein, NASDAQ's Adina Friedman, and reps from Citi and Fidelity. It's like the traditional finance world is finally admitting blockchain's inevitability. RIP Bullwinkle. This isn't just talk. It's about real adoption. And the buzz from Swell ties right back to the president's pro-crypto stance with Patrick Witt from the White House attending and major players like Fortress and Citadel pouring $500 million into Ripple, valuing it at $40 billion as X-Finance Bull Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin hit $1 billion market cap in under a year, integrating into payment flows where it beats XRP in some corridors for efficiency. I'm Cameron Scrubs. Brad Garlinghouse nailed it in a recent CNBC chat. The stablecoin market could balloon to trillions, solving massive problems in cross-border payments. But here's where XRP shines. It's the gas token on the XRPPL, and with clarity from the court declaring it not a security, development and liquidity are exploding. No more holding back from the SEC saga. Now, institutions are piling in, like Evernorth, planning a $1 billion SPA for the largest institutional XRP treasury. That's the kind of behind-the-scenes connection that counters all the FUD. Misinformation from Maxis claiming XRP is dead while ignoring its edge in speed, cost, and scalability. Just look at recent X posts. Del Cruxto quoted Garlinghouse saying, if Ripple scales from billions to trillions in payments, even a slice of that pie is golden for XRP. Delpto and Tokenizer highlighted enterprise DT progress with XRP's MasterCard collab at Swell stealing the show. Tokener, let's be real though, short-term things can get chaotic, and that's where I draw from my own experiences to reassure you. Back when I first got into crypto, I remember watching XRP dip hard during the SEC lawsuit, feeling that gut-wrenching panic. But zooming out showed it was just noise before the rebound. XRP is hovering around 231 right now, but with momentum building, it's snowballing upward despite giving back some gains after Ripple's $500 million announcement. We've seen rebounds of support lines, and historical parallels suggest we're in that consolidation phase before the boom. Guys, think about it like this. Market turbulence is the background noise, but catalysts like the president's Plan B, potentially revaluing assets to include crypto reserves, are the big clap. Mr. The Pool's seatbelt warning from back in the day tying to November shifts from A to B feels prophetic now with the president taking the wheel, and Schwartz's binary nods 10 in binary is 2, but flipped, it's about resets and greater value. It's all pointing to a transformation where XRP becomes the phoenix rising. especially with November as a month of renewal and December's dark reflections leading to light. Recent predictions are wild. Machine learning algorithms see XRP at 2.28 by November 30th, but community voices like Crypto Panda Jr. are calling for $15 in 6 months, and Kamal predicts 1675 EOY. Even Solji notes Solana might flip XRP temporarily, but that's short term. XRP's utility wins long game. Hack Solji critiquing the industry hypocrisy here. While secretive projects hide behind anonymity, XRP's transparency, fixed supply, burns, reducing circulation, utility, and payments stands out. Bitcoin maxes bash it as centralized, but ignore how XRP's been battle-tested in courts, giving it the clarity others crave. The president's team donated to pro-crypto PACs, and now with overhauls at the SEC and CFTC, the Clarity Act could declare more assets as commodities, boosting XRP's position. I am Cameron Scrubs. Ripple's acquisitions like Hidden Road for $1.2 billion and G Treasury handling trillions in payments are bridging Tready and DeFi, introducing crypto solutions to corporates who can't afford to lag. I'm Cameron Scrubs. That's smart money behavior positioning ahead of the curve while retail panics over dips. And guys, let's address the elephant in the room. Studies show XRP's price doesn't yet match its growing real-world use, with swings from 2.066 to 2.41 this week, but that's opportunity. Panta Capital's chat with Garlinghouse at their summit highlighted XRP's performance metrics and future decade potential with more acquisitions in the works. Expanta Capital Krippenreiter pointed that out on X. Ripple's not done buying. Krippenreiter. Here's where it gets really interesting. I remember back when folks dismissed XRP as a banker's coin, but now, with the president hinting at strategic reserves, including XRP, it's flipping the script. No public discussions yet, but the dots connect. Support American innovation like Ripple, not just Bitcoin from unknown origins. Oaks, I'm Cameron Scrubs, and Schwartz joining Ripple's advisory council. That's strengthening ties for what's coming. Global perspectives matter too. Credit card debt at all-time highs, but crypto like XRP offers a way out with its fast transactions acting like a stable force amid volatility. Psychological insights. Fear drives sells, but zooming out shows opportunity. Institutional adoption at swell with BlackRock CK there signals buy-in. It's not about short-term crashes, but long-term positives like tokenization of trillions in assets. Ripple Winkle on X. Jack the Ripper's breaking news about a deal to reopen the government ties directly to spot XRPETFS. Prepare for that boom. Ripple XRP and Kenny Guian's simple advice. Want to be rich? Huddle XRP above $100. Maringuan 97. That's the mindset shift we need. Guys, let's jump into the price speculation without getting too chart heavy. It's like viewing a storm from afar. The waves look scary up close, but the horizon's clear. XRP's patterns mirror past cycles, long sideways, then breakout. With ETF listings like Franklin's on DTCC and Ripple's no IPO stance focusing on building balance sheets strong enough for billion-dollar buys, it's reassuring. At Mangan 007, the president's tariffs Plan B could force repayments, but crypto reserves offer an out with XRP's utility in swift integration, needing prices north of $300 just for that. Baba's 5-digit hints, Mr. Pool's debt wipeout. It's all significant to this reset theme, but new predictions are rolling in. Investing Haven sees potential to push past $260 resistance to $4 this November on ETF updates. And if the president seizes XRP escrow for the Treasury, some speculate $500 to vanish U.S. debt. Short-term chaos. Sure, but long-term XRP positions, holders ahead, countering Max's blind spots. Schwartz ended speculation on Ripple controlling prices via holdings and warned about escrow right sales, but that's just clarifying mechanics. not a bear signal. Ripple set to unlock another billion XRP from escrow tomorrow, but that's routine. Deflation via burns keeps it bullish. And don't get me started on the community empowerment. We're in this together. Turning uncertainty into excitement. Ripple's not defending. They're innovating, critiquing banks for shitty service while offering alternatives. Adam Cameron scrubs, that's the hype. XRP as the Trojan horse for a fairer system. If you like this breakdown, hit that like and subscribe. It helps spread the word to more enthusiasts seeking reassurance. Let's talk more about Mr. Poole's predictions. Some tie his moon date to April 2nd, 2025, linked to the president's tariffs, but with ongoing buzz, it feels like the timeline's accelerating. Videos circulating predict mega moves with XRP leading a reset, and pundits like those on AI invest debate $10,000 by 2025, sparked by speed of adoption. Even 5-digit surges by 2030 could come sooner. Expanding on that, guys, think about the global angles. EU and UK tokenized money market funds using XLM but XRPS in the mix, with XDC acquiring Contour for cross-border trade at Tokener. Psychological pain points like FUD from retail as sentiment noted, high bearish comments, post-tariffs often signal buys that's emotional relief turn despair into excitement by seeing smart money like Panta's conviction compounding at Panta Capital. Ripple Bullwinkle's video on the president's secret XRP plan to reset debt. Spot on at Ripple Winkle, and X Finance Bull connects the presidents, and so it begins post to swell with Ripple's bank license looming at X Finance Bull. To keep it accessible, let's use a storytelling analogy. XRPS, like the underdog hero in a blockbuster facing villains, FUD Maxis, but armed with superpowers, clarity, utility. Novices start with basics. Fixed supply means scarcity. Experts dig into escrow unlocks, not flooding market, but planned. Aim for mobile viewing. Short bursts of hype like Levi Reitfeld's video declaring XRP taking over at Levi Reitfeld. Calls to action. Share your theories and comments. What's your EOY price? Subscribe for more. Wrapping this up on a philosophical visionary note, transformation is inevitable, guys. Like the internet revolution most missed, this crypto shift with the president at the wheel, Plan B confirmed via cryptic foresight, and Schwartz's scaling warnings is our chance for empowerment. XRP's fundamentals tie it all together, promising a future where transparency wins, debt resets, and we look to the heavens, wondering how it happened. Stay optimistic. The boom's coming. Let's keep connecting these dots. What do you think is next? With 9 XRP ETFs rumored and the president eyeing American cryptos for reserves, the stage is